Hello, everyone. This is Elsie, and I'm so excited to be able to get a chance to chat with her and allow her to share her story with all of you. So, just some sort of background. Elsie and I, we finished working together in August. So, it's been like August, September, October, crazy. It's been 3 months since she graduated from the Embodied Method one-to-one coaching. And so she's just going to share a little bit about herself, her story, and her experience in the Embodied Method. So Elsie, I'd love if you could just start by kind of briefing us on what was your relationship with food like before we worked together. If you can just kind of share some background on why you ended up in the program to begin with.
Okay, so for me, I was one of those people that never it was never so abundant and so noticeable. But it was in the back of my mind, like at all times, either like thinking about food, like fantasizing about food, thinking about what I was gonna eat next, and like always like calculating, always like playing some sort of number game at all times, like with what I ate and then like with what exercise I did. It was all like going into some sort of calculator.
Yep.
So for a long time, like I didn't really feel like I should seek help just because like I didn't know, I really didn't think like there was a way to like stop that. I just kind of thought that that's like how my life would be.
Right.
Um, So even though like it probably wasn't noticeable by like other people, it really was like constant. And like especially now I realize like how many like years I wasted on that. And yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely was worse than like probably I realized. I genuinely thought everyone thought like that. Like I thought
Right.
everyone was constantly like calculating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We get so used to the way things feel in our heads that we forget that a better, more aligned reality could exist, because how are we to know? We're just living in our own experience.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it was like, though it wasn't necessarily noticeable like outwardly, it was very much an internal thing going on all the time. And I think
Yeah.
anyone watching this would really resonate with that. It's just like something you deal with every single day when you're making eating decisions, and even though people can't see it, it could still be so disruptive and painful.
Yeah, definitely.
So is there anything you'd want to add for background on your relationship with food prior to the program?
I mean definitely like terrible body image, and like definitely food affecting body image like very directly. Same with exercise, like food and like impacting what I would exercise, like how much I would exercise, like was based on calories,
Mm,
and body image was based on like food and exercise, if not like just like a day to day feeling. So it
right.
was, yeah, not good. Yeah.
For sure. The exercise, body image, food piece, all
Yeah.
definitely connected.
Yeah.
So I'd love if you could kind of go through what is your relationship with food like today, after finishing the program and being 3 months out, if you
Mhm.
could take us to what day to day is like now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely completely different. And like whenever you asked me to like do this call, I like didn't, yeah, I didn't really hesitate just because like whenever you asked me, I just like knew that it was so different. And like I guess like I just hadn't really thought about it, which is kind of like what you want. Like that's kind of the goal, is just like not think about it, just to like not think about food, not think about like yeah, not think about your body, not really think about exercise either. Like that's kind of the goal. And that's like kind of almost where I'm at. I mean, I'm pretty close. I really eat whatever I want, and I don't think about like what I ate yesterday. I don't think about what I ate that day when I'm going to sleep. And like I don't, that's just so amazing to me, to just be able to lay in bed and like it just doesn't even cross my mind. I just don't lay there thinking about what I ate that day or what I ate the day before, or like what I have to do tomorrow to like make up for it. I just don't think about anything like that whatsoever.
Truly
So
so
yeah.
amazing. Like we
Yeah.
always say, no more rolling the tapes before
Yeah.
bed.
No, yeah, I really don't. And like I'm not like sad about food. Like I don't feel like sad when I finish a meal. Like I just get like satisfied easier, and I don't like I'm not constantly like searching for something to eat. Like if I want something more, then like I'm happy to get it. But it's just not like the way it used to be, where I was never satisfied and like always searching for food and always thinking about what I was gonna eat next.
Right.
It's just like if I'm hungry, then I eat, and like I know that it's not bad to eat. Like if you're hungry, you should eat, because like you won't eat as much at the next meal. Like I feel like I was always so hungry, so I could like be like as hungry as possible to so I could eat like when I got to the meal, so I would enjoy it more. But now like I don't do that. I don't restrict. I just eat when I'm hungry, and then I get hungry again and I eat again, and I
Yeah.
don't. And then if I get like this, if I order like a huge meal, or my roommate and I make a huge meal, like I don't have to finish it, like because I've been eating all day. So
Right.
it's I'm not starving.
Right.
I don't
So
have to force it down, you
and
know?
right. And whereas before, if you were to like order a big meal or like go out to eat sort of something
Yeah.
special, what would happen? Would you be able to save it back then?
No, definitely not. Like I would purposely like get as hungry as possible, like to go out to eat. So I would eat like as much as possible, and just like I would never like leave leftovers like on the plate, like even if I was hungry. Um, so
Yeah.
I just find it much easier to just stop eating, and like I find I have leftovers a lot more, for example.
Right. And leaving a restaurant or eating experience feeling comfortable is like so unheard of when you're in the dieting days, because it's like always seen as this cheat or something. And then it's like, oh my God,
Mhm.
it's like truly overdid it. And it can feel so uncomfortable. So it's so amazing to hear that now. It's just like it sounds so simple, right? You're like, I just eat when I'm hungry, but like truly groundbreaking coming from a history of following all these outside rules. So I'd love to hear about sort of the ripple effects, like as we always chat about, in our time together. Obviously, it starts with your relationship with food, but it affects so many things. So how do you feel like other aspects of your life, maybe your happiness, relationships, mental health, have changed as a product of doing this work?
I mean, I think like, yeah, mental health definitely. I mean, just like not having to like, like excruciate over these like details, and just, yeah, it's just like really nice to not have to think about food all the time. And um yeah, definitely like just frees you up. I don't know, just frees you up to like enjoy everything else. And like it is a good feeling to be able to like tackle intrusive thoughts and like one area, and just like the comparison with like friends and stuff like that. I feel like that's really hard. I'm
Mm,
sure a lot of people have experienced that, where like you go out to eat with friends and you're kind of like, well, what are they eating? And like
right.
that means that like if someone orders like a burger, then like you can order a burger because like it's justified. But like if everyone's ordering a salad, like then maybe you should order that, and stuff like that. And just like the constant comparison, well, like they ate this much and like I ate this much, or like their body looks like this and my body looks like that. Like that type of thing is like pretty draining on friendships, I think. Like and maybe not like obviously, but maybe in like your own head, just like the constant comparison. So um that is really nice to have a break from, and just like remind myself that like you don't know what that person ate today, you don't know what they ate yesterday, you don't know if they ran like a marathon, or maybe they sat on the couch all day and they don't really feel like a burger, they just feel like a salad. Like you just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing about salads is like after you intuitive eat, salads are like actually good, whereas before they're like terrible. Like
You're
once you do intuitive eating, you actually like enjoy salad. It's really cool. It's really nice. Yeah.
so cool, like coming from a place of actually wanting it versus like slugging it down because you feel like
No,
you're
yeah,
not
you don't have to plug it down. I actually think it's good.
How crazy is that? I love what you shared about the comparison too. Like you stop comparing yourself. Like it sounds like in general, just less outside metrics are governing your eating. And it's more like, how do I feel? What do I want at this restaurant versus like, oh, what is everyone else having? And I love what you said about how it sort of puts less strain on your like friendships and relationships, because you're not like, there's not this like tension of like almost
Yeah,
like unnecessary judgment. It's so beautiful.
yeah.
Awesome. So, what would you say to someone who's like on the fence about going all in with intuitive eating?
Well, I think that like what I've learned is that any like form of a diet or like restriction or like calorie counting, anything like that is like basically like unsustainable because you're not going to do it every single day. But intuitive eating, like you can do every day. And I think like it can I mean, I think I'm trying to think of what my main fears were, and I just think like I didn't really like believe like I mean, I was excited, but I didn't really believe that like it would I don't know, like it would just become so natural, like to the point where um I really don't think about it anymore, it's like what I'm
Mhm.
eating. And it's just like it's just a like whether or not you're trying to lose weight, like it's just a much more pleasant experience of life, and it's just a much happier like existence,
Mm.
to just like be able to eat what you want and like just to like you just feel better in your body. And like it's just hard to believe when you first start out like that you wouldn't always want like the most unhealthy foods. Like I guess like that's like a lot of people say like, well, if you intuitive eat, you're just gonna intuitive eat like chicken fingers every day. And like I mean, when like I first started with everything, like that definitely was what it was. Like I mean I didn't eat chicken fingers every day, but like it
Right.
definitely ate a lot. And it was like a lot of like starchy like comfort foods and for like a while. And I like um it just if you learn like how something makes you feel like over time, then like you don't necessarily always want it. Like for example, like last night I was absolutely starving. I didn't have any food, so I was trying to order something, and I was like about to order Raising Cane's. I don't know if people probably don't know what that is 'cause it's in the South, but
Explain.
it's like chicken fingers and French fries, basically, like in this like styrofoam like. And but then I was just like, I wanted it. I was like, it's gonna taste so good. But then I was like, you know what? Like I always feel sick after I eat that. And I was like, I just don't feel like that today. I was
Mm,
like, I'm just feeling a little anxious. And I was like, I just don't want to like kind of feel sick and like greasy after I eat that. So then I
right.
ordered like something else, like a rice bowl instead. So um yeah, and just like for example, like calories like don't play into that. Like the rice bowl probably could have been just as much as the other thing, but it's just like I don't know, it's just a much happier, like simpler existence. And I just wanted to say too, like with my relationship with exercise is like, that's like really, really important too. And just like not just doing exercise like because you enjoy it and not like for a certain thing or a certain like goal weight. And I think like if you open your mind up to doing exercise because you enjoy it and not just like forcing yourself to burn like 500 calories on the treadmill like every day or whatever it is, like it's just such a more pleasant experience. And like you just feel so much better about exercise. And like it's just crazy when you get to the point when you're like, oh, I actually want to go for a run today because I know
Right.
at the end like I'll feel so fresh and like so like
Yeah.
your body like knows like when you're just like when you just your body just feels so blah, like at the end of your exercise you're gonna feel so much better, even if it's just like a brisk walk or something, just something to like elevate your heart rate and just get you moving. And I don't know, I definitely like listen to my body when it says like, oh, we're feeling like really blah. Or sometimes like I'm just like I'm completely tired today, I just can't. And then it's fine.
Yeah.
Like no one's there like, hey,
Right. No guilt, no
no,
police. Like,
there's no police. Like even with eating, there's no police. It's just like as soon as I eat, it's done. I don't think about it again. Like it's just such an amazing, it's just so much better than
uh,
how it was. Yeah.
so I have chills all over. It's just amazing to hear you recount all of this. And as I'm like reflecting on your journey, I'm remembering in the beginning, of course, there's a little bit of doubt, like, how am I not going to eat ice cream and chicken fingers all the time? And it's just a process of developing that trust of my body isn't going to steer me to eat these things. My body actually is going to crave nutrient dense foods to make
Yeah.
it feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
I love what you shared about the chicken finger slash like rice bowl situation last night, because that's so telling of like you can like you have full permission if you wanted the chicken finger fry situation, but it sounds like it came from a place of how do I want to feel in my body, and the fact
Yeah.
that that's like a thought is just total intuitive eater pro status, and it's so amazing, and I'm just so proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, there's no restriction, and I truly eat like whatever I want, depending on like what I'm in the mood for, and like, you know, if people like out there are, I'm sure people out there are worried about like gaining weight and or like not losing weight and stuff like that, and like, first of all, it's worth it to just let go and just kind of like just live the life like you're meant to live, and like your body weight like will go to like an appropriate
Yeah,
amount, and like you have to just become comfortable with like what that amount is, and just like it won't, like, it sounds scary now, like, I mean, probably like I thought like I would never like be okay with what that was, or like never like reach a physique or like a body that I loved or liked or was even okay with. And like eventually your body does, like, it just truly does go to a place that you like, that you enjoy, and
yeah,
you don't have to like wake up every day like, and no one does that, like everyone has insecurities, but like if that's like your main concern, I just like would say like right now that's your main concern, but it won't always be your main concern. Like
hmm,
you will get to a point where you're just like at peace in this life, and like it's much better to just be at peace in this life with food and exercise and like be enjoying what you're doing than like be like, I'm not going to do this journey because like I can't risk like gaining weight or like,
totally.
it's not worth it.
Totally. Ugh, I love that you said that. It's like we always talk about like the benefits of healing your relationship with food. If you can totally outweigh whatever happens to your body weight, if you can just gently guide
Yeah.
the desire to manipulate your body to the back burner and trust that the way that the quality of your life will change by becoming an intuitive eater is worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it. And then eventually, like when you really put it on the back burner, like you said, like months and months will go by and you realize like, oh, I actually like look
Yeah.
better. Or I look
Yeah.
like whether,
Happier, less
yeah,
stressed.
yeah, like whether or not you've lost weight or maybe you just have better body image. Like either way, like,
Yeah.
you're happier in your own skin. And so it's a beautiful thing.
So
So
beautiful. Is there anything else you would tell someone who's like really on the fence about seeking out counseling, if they're kind of like where you were in the beginning of like, I don't know if this is serious enough, if this actually warrants reaching out for help? What would you tell someone who's kind of in that boat?
if it is like getting to the point where it's consuming your thoughts, I mean, it's never really too early, like, or too late to start, and I think that it's like a lifelong practice, I guess. Like that's kind of how I justified like getting help, because I wanted to like eat like this the rest of my life. And like it is a practice. It really is. Like every time, like I'm like make a mistake, meaning like I eat to a point where I feel sick and I feel like discouraged. Like I just tell myself like, okay, that was a learning opportunity.
Yeah,
Like that was like too much like, candy and ice cream, and now like I feel
right.
sick and
Noted.
yeah, I feel sick and I feel uncomfortable. And yeah, noted. And it is like a lifetime practice, and like you do learn every day, and there's really no like better time to get started than now, because you're freeing up like your life for like a lot of other things, and it is like it's such an investment in like yourself and your future. um so yeah, I would definitely recommend like speaking with someone who's like an expert and can like guide you, especially, I mean, it is a hard journey, especially the first 3 months, or 4 months are probably the hardest. And then I would just say like supplement with any books that Leah recommends. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you loved the intuitive eating book. That was
Yeah.
huge for you.
Yeah. That one's great. And there's other ones that I've read since then that are good. So I think supplementing with reading for me was really helpful too.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Elsie. I truly think it's so inspiring to hear you recount kind of where you came from and where you are now, and just reflect on how different those two worlds look. So it's so
Mhm.
amazing. Thank you so
Yeah, of
much.
course. Yeah, thank you, Leah.